Are you ready to hustle?
I need to hustle.
Welcome to The Hustle with Justin Harrison, the ultimate podcast for money motivation and inspiration.
Hustlers, today we're talking about side hustles. What does it take to be successful with a side hustle? What does it take to turn your side hustle into your main hustle? And more importantly, when should you go full-time, turning your side hustle into your main hustle? This week, my inbox has been absolutely jam-packed with voice notes from you guys, so keep them coming and let's help you guys hustle.
Hi Justin, I'm Sachin from Durban. How do I know when to go full-time from my side hustle?
Hi Justin, my name is Sarah and I'm from Durban North. I have been working at my side hustle for about a year now, and I'm not sure when's the right time to actually take the plunge and actually go for it. How do I know when to go full-time from my side hustle?
Can you smell it? Can you feel it? Can you taste it? Success is just around the corner. You know it's there. But the question is, do you go all in? Is it the right time? Before you make that decision, listen closely to what I have to say. In business, growth has to happen organically. This means that no matter how badly you want something, no matter how badly you want to force something to happen, it has to happen when the timing is right. It has to happen at its own pace. And so there are a lot of things you can do to make sure that the timing is best, to make sure that the stars align. But at the end of the day, you cannot force growth from within. The ultimate thing that is going to tell you whether or not you should go full-time with your side hustle comes down to one or two very simple facts that most people overlook. Number one is money. Are you making more money from your side hustle than you're currently making from your main source of income? If not, this is probably not the right time to go full-time. Money is one of the most important determining factors. Number two, are you leaving potential customers on the table? Are you neglecting potential customers because you haven't gone full-time in your hustle yet? And here, you have to be really honest with yourself. And I mean brutally honest. A lot of people kid themselves that if they go full-time, they'll have more customers. That's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you, are you turning customers away because you cannot service them because you haven't gone full-time? If the answer to this is yes, and you are guaranteed of securing a hell of a lot more customers because you go full-time, then this is something you genuinely need to look at. Now, before you rush out and go and start turning your side hustle into a main hustle, there is something you really need to consider. If you are already earning an income and successfully running a side hustle on the sideline, this is a really great opportunity to consider hiring people rather than putting yourself in there. Act as a CEO. Act as if you're going to have employees and run it as a proper business. Because here's the thing. So many people turn their side hustles into main hustles and become part of the process. In other words, they become part of the actual product and service. In other words, they become an employee. They work in the business rather than on the business. And this is potentially the greatest limitation when you enter into entrepreneurship. My last piece of advice for side hustlers looking to go full-time and turn it into a main hustle is to really focus in on the money. Most entrepreneurs and people starting out in business treat their businesses like a piggy bank. And what I mean by this is they basically draw down everything they earn out of that business in order to survive. The great advantage of having a side hustle as well as a main income is that you don't have to draw on that income. You can let the business grow organically. Let it accumulate capital. Let it accumulate profits. And ultimately, most businesses need at least 3 to 5 years to even start beginning to become something that you can start actively drawing a salary out of. Hustlers, if you have a specific question for me around hustles, business, or anything money related, career related, you can now directly send me your voice notes on the WhatsApp line 061 792 9495, starting with the keyword hustle. And if you are a little bit shy and you don't want to send in a voice note, you can also email me moneytribe21, that's moneytribe21@gmail.com. Our next question comes from Dillian from Queensborough.
Hi Justin, hope you're well. What advice would you give someone who has started various businesses in numerous sectors, yet none of them have ever materialized into anything marginally successful, yet they have the desire to constantly come up with something that could work and something that would become successful to a point where they could consider it a success from their side. Thanks.
Dillian, great question. And of course, congratulations on being self-reflective and willing to take on some really hard lessons. The first thing we need to be honest about is the fact that there is a big difference between running a business and trying a venture. A venture is something that hopes to be a profitable business. A business has customers, a business has profit, and a business makes money. So why do most businesses fail? Well, because they don't make money. And why do most businesses not make money? Well, because they don't have enough paying customers. You see, when you understand business in its simplest form, making money is about having customers who are prepared to pay you money for something that you offer of value. And if people don't see what you have as having value, they're not going to pay you money. It's that simple. So to answer your question, the reason why most of your ventures have probably failed and not turned into actual businesses is probably because you've been involved in ventures that haven't captured enough customers who are willing to pay you enough money. I see this problem every single day where entrepreneurs are married to their ideas, where entrepreneurs sell themselves on the things that they like and the things that they believe. But at the end of the day, they're not paying themselves. They're not their own customers. And the only thing that matters is what the customer is prepared to pay you for. I know this advice is probably like swallowing razor blades, but at the end of the day, probably the reason why you failed with so many things is you just had the wrong product or service. And assuming you actually had the right product or service, then it purely comes down to the fact that people didn't know about that product or service, which ultimately is marketing, and that's the reason why you failed. And by the way, make sure you tune into the next episode of The Hustle, because next week we're going to be talking about marketing, how to position your side hustle, how to market your side hustle, and how to go and fetch more customers. So go back to basics. Find a product and service that people actually are willing to pay you for, and then market the absolute heck out of it to make sure that people know about it. And this will ultimately lead you to a successful venture, which hopefully, if you manage it well, will turn into a successful business. Hustlers, if you found value from this episode of The Hustle, please be sure to leave us a rating and a review on your favorite podcasting app. And of course, be sure to hit that follow or subscribe button depending on your podcasting platform to follow us for all future episodes. And remember, hustle makes muscle.
Stay motivated by The Hustle. Talkers talk, but hustlers hustle. Find more episodes at ecr.co.za or your favorite podcast app.